Hello everybody, this is Bale. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we will be discussing how to counter the Cenobite in DbD. The Cenobite comes with his own unique power that draws on the abilities of other killers' toolkits. With this guide, you should be better prepared to deal with Pinhead and the nuances of his Summons of Pain power. Let's get started. First off, let's talk about the early game of the trial. If you see a circular chain surrounding your character portrait, you'll know right away that you're facing the Cenobite. At the same time, the aura of the Lament configuration will be revealed to you and other survivors in the trial. The Lament configuration is an interesting aspect of Pinhead's power. If you choose to try and solve it, you will either prevent Pinhead's passive ability, Chain Hunt, or instantly be teleported to by the killer himself. If a Chain Hunt becomes active, every survivor in the trial will be passively harassed by chains that latch on and prevent objective completion. The chains can even reveal your location to the killer and prevent you from completing loops. The question one should ask is, should you solve the Lament configuration at the start of the trial? My answer is that you should gauge multiple competing factors. If the Cenobite is not currently chasing somebody, activating his box could benefit Pinhead more than you. By letting him chase you early, you risk getting hooked early, and furthermore, you create a snowball potential for the killer. However, the Lament configuration offers a unique opportunity. If you are confident in your position, or at least in your ability to loop, then summoning the Cenobite to you can give you an early game advantage. By looping him for a long time, multiple generators should be completed before he can get his first hook state. In the mid-game, if the Cenobite notices that you're carrying his Lament configuration, there's a good chance he'll try to tunnel you in order to win it back. This is because if he downs you while you're holding it, the Cenobite can activate the Chain Hunt early and reveal the locations of all survivors still in the trial. This is another situation where you could turn a problem into an opportunity. If you can get the Cenobite to chase you for too long, you can effectively win the game by keeping him away from generators your team is completing. When dealing with a Lament configuration, try to use it to pull the Cenobite away from tactical positions. Even if he doesn't teleport to you, you can at least buy your team some time by preventing the Chain Hunt. Next, let's talk about countering Pinhead's Summoned Chain ability. This acts similarly to a Nurse Blink. By charging the power, the Cenobite can create a portal from a distance that summons a chain to latch on to survivors. This chain will then spawn 2 subsequent chains that will reduce your movement speed until you break their connection to your survivor. While chained, you are incapacitated and cannot fast vault windows or pallets, but you can still drop pallets. This power usually allows Pinhead to counter smaller, unsafe pallet loops, and even some jungle gym tiles if the survivor is too predictable with their pathing. So how do you counter it? It's good to remember that most Cenobites will try to cast their portal as close to you as possible before summoning the chain. This creates a smaller gap from which you can dodge the chain. As such, you should treat Cenobite's power like a sort of crappy Nurse Blink. Breaking line of sight while Pinhead is sending out the portal makes it more difficult for him to guess your exact location. If he can't hit you with the chain, you should consider running to the next map tile to further waste his time chasing you. After all, the further away he is when channeling his power, the less likely he is to hit you with it, and the less likely he is to get a damage state out of it. If Pinhead is very close to you, but not quite able to reach you before you make it to a pallet or window, be prepared for him to use his power. By chaining you while stuck in a vaulting or dropping animation, he cuts off your options to run away. Don't let this panic you. Try to break the chains as quickly as possible using the environment. If he still gets a hit on you, run as far away as you can so he won't be able to chain you again. That last part seems like an obvious solution, but you'd be surprised how few people take advantage of holding W in Dead by Daylight. Next, let's talk about some perks that help Pinhead the most. If a Pinhead is relatively new, they may try to rely on Brutal Strength and Bamboozle to get cheap hits around vaults and dropped pallets. By chaining you after vaulting, they can then deal with these obstacles quickly and take the direct path towards you. Honestly, the Pinhead has pretty good synergy with 2 of his teachable perks, Deadlock and Plaything. Because Cenobite doesn't have an at-will movement ability, he lacks the ability to pressure gens without getting lots of hook states. As a result, Deadlock can slow down generator progress if multiple survivors are pumping out different generators. In the event of Pinhead getting multiple hooks, Hex Plaything acts as a pseudo-gen pressure by forcing survivors to make a tough choice. They either have to waste time searching for the totem afflicting them, or risked being caught out in the open due to the oblivious status effect. On top of this, exposure perks like Starstruck and Haunted Grounds can force survivors into even deadlier situations, forcing them to drop pallets early and allowing his power to truly shine. Overall, I think the Cenobite is an excellent addition to the game, whose power is fun for the killer to use and not insufferable for survivors to counter. By keeping an eye on him in chases and taking advantage of his lament configuration mechanics, you can turn the tide on his reign of terror by forcing him to make some tough choices himself. Alright, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I put a lot of work into these guide videos, so if you found it educational or interesting, please feel free to subscribe for more. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. No, she ran out. Oh, I found the lament configuration. Hell yeah! I'm like, oh, the box is right here.